cardstock.com. Thanks for joining me today for another video, and it is Casing Tuesday. Casing Tuesday, yes. So if you've been following me for a while, you guys know that I participate in what's called Casing Tuesday, and I have a playlist with all of my past projects that I have linked at the end of this video. However, today's project comes to you out of our new holiday catalog. Yes, finally, I can show you inside of the book. How awesome is that? So basically, Casing Tuesday, if you're not familiar with it, is something that happens every single Tuesday, of course, and there's a post of a sample card from the Stampin' Up! Catalogs along with a sketch with measurements. It's posted to a page called Casing Tuesday on Facebook. It's a lot of fun. If you're on Facebook, this is a great spot to have in your liked groups because anyone can play along. So in order to do that, all you have to do is either create the card as it's shown in the catalog, or you can put your own spin to it, which is what I always love to do. I like to do that because it's a great way to get inspiration. It's a great way to get your creative juices flowing. So if you're interested in playing along, or you want to see what Casing Tuesday is all about, I'll actually have a link in the description box that'll take you to the blog post for this project. And on the post, if you scroll down, there'll be a little button that you can click that says you can play here too, and you click that and it'll take you over to that Facebook group. Now, I'm not sure, because I've been a part of it for a little while now, but I'm not sure if you have to be accepted or not. But yeah, it's over there and anyone can join from my understanding, okay? So today's project is a really cute card. It's Casing Tuesday number 214. So we've done 216. I'm still stuck in the past, but 216 sketches so far, which is pretty awesome. So this particular sketch is coming to you from on page 50 of the holiday catalog. Here it is, all of its beauty. And we're gonna focus on this cute little card that you see right here with these stinking adorable birds. Oh my gosh. Sadly, I don't have this stamp set yet. Like I said, yet. It is so cute, and it is on my wish list. So this will probably be one of my next buys because I really love this card and I would love to recreate it as it's shown. But for now, I do what I do best, and I go in and I recreate things to use whatever I have already in my stash. So this is the card, and as you can see, they have a stamped background. These are the stitched rectangle dies that they use to create that layer in the back. There's some baker's twine that I have not seen yet. Interesting. There's some more baker's twine that I haven't seen yet. So now I gotta figure out where to find this baker's twine at, because that's really cute. Then what they did was they colored and they cut out the birds because there are no dies for the set that they're using. And then I love how they have the sentiment stamped in 2 different colors, and that is a technique using the Stampin' the Stampin' Write markers. So I'm gonna back this book up a little bit so you guys can see. Yeah, they did a lot of stamping with that background, with that star, because that's the one they used, and they just stamped it all the way around that layer. But going back to this sentiment here, what they did was they used 2 different colors Stampin' Write markers, and they colored the wishing you a from our little flock in one color, and then they used a different color to color in the joyful Christmas, which that's a fun effect that you can use on your stamps, which is really neat. And that's it. So that is the project that we're looking at, and the card that I have for you guys today is in my fancy frame. I have a video on a DIY card display, and I have been using it like crazy, so I love it. So here's the card that we're going to create. I love Halloween, I love fall, and this card was so much fun to create. And it's using the Wonderfully Wicked stamp set and the coordinating die in the catalog. And so you can find this on page 55 here. Okay, so there are these really fun projects that they have as samples on here. There's this cute die that has a little spider and the word wicked. And there's this really adorable stamp set that has a cat, the bat, the spider, has some really fun sentiments, and the web, okay? So there's that. That's where you can find it. I will have a link to all of the supplies that I used on this card down below in the description box. That will take you over to my online store where you can buy all of the products that you need to recreate this project if this is something that you want to create. But anyways, going back to this, this is the stamp set. I love it. It has 9 stamps in it. It is cling mounts. Okay, and see, I've already kind of like fuzzy cut one of the little cats out as I was experimenting. There's like this really cute spider with this die. So here's the die in real life. Isn't that cute? Okay. All right, so that's the stamp set. So let's set that to the side. And we're going to set our card over here to the side as well. All right, so you're going to need the following supplies to create this card. So for cardstock, I am using a piece of Mango Melody as my card base. This measures 5.5 inches by 8, I think, 8.5. I'm measuring it real quick. Yeah, 8.5 inches. It's scored at 4 1/4. This is your standard A2 size card, so I'm using that. You're going to need a piece of Granny Apple Green. This piece measures at 2 3/4 by 4 1/8 of an inch. And the reason why the measurements are a little wonky is because I am using the, like in the sample in the catalog, I'm using the stitched rectangle dies. And this is like the third, I want to say it's like the third biggest shape. Let's see, let me show you. So this is what it looks like. And it's like the third one. Yeah, it's like the third biggest. So I cut that out using my Big Shot. And then I wanted the layer to be on the inside. So that is the measurement that I got for that basic black. So there's no particular measurement for the basic black piece because I used my dies. The next thing you're going to need is a piece of Gorgeous Grape, and this is what we're going to use to cut out our wicked. I have a piece of Whisper White. This is going to be where we stamp our spiders on, and we're actually going to fuzzy cut those bad boys out. Y'all know I love fuzzy cutting. Y'all probably like, oh my gosh, not again. Then I have a piece of Whisper White that we're going to stamp our sentiment onto, along with glue our wicked die cut on. And this piece measures 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches. I have a little piece of basic black here that's going to be the rest of our sentiment that says have a wicked good time. And we're going to stamp this beautiful, beautiful Delicata ink. Oh my gosh, it's silvery shimmer. It is so pretty. I love it. So that is the ink we're going to use, one of the inks we're going to use. And then, since we're on the subject of inks, we're going to use our Memento Tuxedo Black because we need some black to stamp our spiders in. This here, we actually sell adhesive sheets, and this is going to really come in handy when you have really detailed dies that you don't want to glue down, okay? Because glue can sometimes get a little messy. So I'm gonna show you guys how I created a sticker to stick the wicked onto my piece of Whisper White. And it's really easy and it's not a lot of mess. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. Of course, you're going to need your clear blocks for your stamp. Let's see here. For my accents, I used, or my embellishing, I used some of this glittered organdy ribbon. It's so gorgeous. I used a lot of this last year, and I'm so glad that it carried over into the new catalog. So this is in the annual catalog. And then I'm also using some of my silver metallic thread. I don't know if you guys saw, but these spiders are actually suspended by the thread. It makes their web, which is really cute. Really nice touch to this card. The next thing you're going to need, which I forgot, is Mango Melody ink. And I think the last thing that I used on this is my subtle embossing folder, and that is what I used on the piece of Granny Apple Green, as you can see here. Now on my original project I didn't do it, but after the fact I'm like, oh, that would be nice if I had it embossed. So that's what I did for this. Okay, All right, so that is all the supplies that you're going to need for this card, outside of like the normal adhesives that you use. So there's glue dots, there's Tombow liquid glue, you can use snail, you can use whatever you have in your stash. But other than that, now that you guys know exactly what we're going to need to create this project, let's go ahead and start stamping. All right, so to start our stamping, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp all 3 of our spiders, okay? So I'm going to take my Memento black ink, and I'm just going to ink up this little guy down here, and I'm going to stamp 3 spiders onto my piece of Whisper White. And we're going to set that to the side. And then we're going to stamp our Sentiment Good Time onto our little piece of basic black in our Delicata ink. And I'm going to try to line this up as best as I can because it's black and it's on my black surface, so it's hard to see. Oh, I like that. That's good. We're going to cut that down a little bit. You guys see that? Look how pretty it is. It's so shiny. It kind of gives you an embossed look without using embossing powder. It's really fun ink to have. And we have 3 colors of this. We have copper, gold, and silver. And I only got the silver one just to kind of try it out. I've never used it before, but it is really, really pretty. So I am looking into getting the other colors that we have. All right, so we're gonna hold off on stamping the Have A that is up here in between our wicket because I wanna make sure we get the perfect alignment first, okay? And so now we're gonna take our card base. I'm gonna fold this little guy in half. Burnish it down with our binder folder. And then we're gonna take a scrap piece of paper and our Mango Melody ink. So we're doing a little bit of tone-on-tone stamping. And we're gonna take our spider web and we're gonna go in all of the corners first. And we're gonna stamp the web. And we're just rotating it around. So there we have that. So we're gonna set our inks to the side. And now we are going to take our basic black piece and our, let me push this back into the frame, our basic black and our Granny Apple Green. And we're gonna take our liquid glue, because I find that that is the best glue to use on the back side of embossed pieces. And we're going to stick this little guy right in the center of this rectangle, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over and we're going to pop this little guy up with some dimensionals, but we're not going to place it onto our card just yet because we still got to cut out our pieces. So we're going to put about 4 to 5 dimensionals on here. All right. Okay, so let's set this to the side. And now I'm going to show you guys how I created the sticker for the wicket. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take your die, whatever die you have, and you're going to measure out the piece of cardstock that you're going to use. And so you'll need some paper snips for this, and you're going to cut this guy down just like this, because we don't like to have a lot of waste. So we're just going to cut it down just like this. Okay. And then what I like to do is I like to then take the piece of cardstock that I've measured out and place it on top of the sticker, just like this, and measure that piece out as well. But one thing I like to do is when I measure this out, I always like to cut it down just a little bit below the lines of the cardstock, just to make it easier to stick on. Not a lot I'm cutting off, but I'm cutting off just enough. That way, majority of the surface will still be covered. All right, so let's set this to the side. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, so on this, on one side, it's just a smooth piece, a smooth, shiny piece. And then on the top, on the other side, there's the side that has all the writing on it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna follow the instructions. You're gonna peel the piece that has the writing on it off. You wanna be careful because this stuff is really sticky. And then the adhesive is actually on the shiny piece. So what I like to do then is I like to line this up, and this is why I say it's always good to cut it down a little bit smaller than your actual piece of cardstock, so that way when you lay it down you don't have to worry about it going past the edges, because that tends to happen to me a lot. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this little guy out with our Big Shot or whatever die cutting machine that you guys have. So let me clean off my station real quick. I'm gonna put all this stuff to the side. All right, so now I'm gonna put this into the VM. Don't mind my warped plate. I've had this plate since I joined and haven't changed it out yet. It's probably time for me to change it. What do you guys think? Anyway, so you're going to basically place your die on top of your cardstock, just like normal. And you're going to roll it through just like this. And I like to do it 3 or 4 times because sometimes the sticker doesn't get cut all the way through. And this is kind of like ensuring me that it's going to be cut all the way through. Okay. If you have really detailed die cuts, then you could probably use your precision base plate. So let's see here. Let's see how well it cut it out. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. And I like to try to keep the for this particular die, I try to keep the cut piece. Oh, see, it didn't get it right there. I try to keep the cut piece in the die itself. It makes it easier to peel off, just like that, and it eliminates the potential for me to tear or rip my die cut because it's so thin and detailed and fragile in certain areas. And then I'm going to take my pokey tool and I'm going to poke it out using the ejection holes here. There we go. And carefully peel it up just like that. And now you have a sticker. Isn't that cute? Love it. All right. So now that we have done that, we are going to take our Whisper White piece now. And all you have to do is peel the backing off, and like anything, when you're dealing with stickers or adhesive, you want to be careful as you're peeling it off because the glue is really sticky. And you run the potential of sticking it to your surface or to stuff that, like dropping it and or ripping it and that kind of stuff. So, all right, so we're just peeling off that backing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my die. Actually, before I do that, since it has stickiness on it and I don't want to ruin my work surface, I have a silicone mat here that we actually sell. And I'm going to use that to help me stick this little guy down. And the thing is, the cool thing about the silicone mat is when you glue stuff down on it, it doesn't stick to it, so it releases your piece. So if I were to stick this down, you see this? Like I could stick it as much as I want, but it's not going to stick to the silicone mat. These things are nice to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make sure you have enough room to stamp your sentiment, but I still want it even, but I want to kind of closer down to the edge. Once you commit, it's permanent. just like that. Okay, and then I am going to take my embossing buddy, because there is glue still on the, oops, be careful not to rip it. I want to release some of that sticky so it doesn't stick all over the place. So I'm just powdering it up a little bit. I said a little bit, that's more like a lot. And now I don't have to worry about this piece sticking, if that makes sense. All right, so let's move our silicone mat out the way. Now back to our stamping. We're going to take our Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to take the Have a Sentiment. I'm going to do a couple of test runs on here because I didn't perform stamp surgery on this little guy. And I want to make sure I stamp it without having a line around it. There we go. Have a. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to take this piece and we're going to glue it right onto our basic black layer and greeny apple green layer. So I'm just going to take some of my liquid glue and I'm going to concentrate most of it into the center because I don't want it on the outside edge, because part of this Whisper White is going to extend off of or past the basic black. There we go, just like that. All right, so now on the back side, I didn't mention this, but you are going to need some tape because you guys know I love to cheat when it comes to wrapping bows. So now I'm going to take my glitter organdy ribbon and I'm going to tape a piece of it to the back. This is a great way to eliminate waste as well. So I'm just measuring it out just enough. There we go. Take another piece of tape, just like this. And then we're gonna take our Good Time and we're gonna pop it up with dimensionals. We're going to place it right here. All right, so now I'm going to take a little piece. Now that I have a good placement on the Good Time sentiment part, I'm going to take my organdy ribbon and I am going to tie a knot. All right, so now that we've tied our knot, I'm going to go ahead and just snip the ends. Like that. It's a cute little knot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually burn, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm going to burn the edge of this ribbon. Ooh, I almost caught it on fire. We're going to try that again. You don't want to keep it on there for that long. Just really quickly. And try not to burn your project. If I do that this video, I will be doing this again. So just lightly tap it towards the ribbon because it burns really fast. And watch your fingers too, by the way. And this is just gonna seal the ends so it doesn't fray. Okay, there we go. It's a little better. Oh, it's kind of crooked now. It's not even. Ah. All right, so now it's time for us to do our spiders. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out the spiders. All right, so now I'm back. I have cut out all of my spiders, okay? So the first thing you're going to want to do before we really start securing these little guys to the card is you're going to cut off 3 strings of metallic thread. They don't need to be too long, just a reasonable length. And so we're going to place our 3 spiders onto our card. So one's going to go over the wicket just like that. One's going to go further down over the wicket on the K and the E. Then the other one is going to go like he's climbing up. We're going to use these spiders to give us perfect placement of their web or the thread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first piece and a piece of tape. I'm going to tape this little guy right on the back side, just like we did our ribbon. We're going to do the same exact thing. Okay. Cool. All right. So now that we have placed our pieces of metallic thread, we're going to place 2 dimensionals on 2 of the spiders' backs.
Mommy, this hurts. This up there. This up there. The sand.
Okay, let me see. Go see it.
The sand. No, you gotta go home.
All right, so now we're going to bring these little guys down and we're going to glue our spiders and attach our spiders on top of the strings, and we're going to snip off the excess. Just like that. All right, now we're going to flip this over on the back. And we're going to peel off all the backings of our dimensionals. And we're going to stick this little guy right on down onto our card base, just like this. All right, guys, so here you go. 2 awesome cards using the Wonderfully Wicked stamp set and the coordinating dies. So if you guys liked the project, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And also don't forget to like this video and give me a thumbs up. Also, you will be able to find all of the supplies that I used down below in the description box. There will be links that will take you straight to my online store. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love for you to pick me as your own. If you would like a copy of the new 2019 holiday catalog, hit me up in the comments down below, or you can head over to my website, thecraftsergeant.com, where you can request a copy and I will send one out to you as soon as possible. But other than that, in order to stay up to date on all things Stampin' Up, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification bell on the side to receive notifications of all of my recently and currently uploaded video tutorials. Well, that's all I got for you guys for now. So see you next time. Thanks for watching and happy stamping.